Before we start this episode, this podcast is sponsored by Feener's Freshest. All your vintage needs, from hats to beanies to pullovers to windbreakers to vintage shirts to sneakers, as well as refurbishing if you got any old shoes or you got any old hats. He also provides those services as well, Feener's Freshest. Check them out. This podcast is also sponsored by Emperor Supply Co. If you're looking for a premium pomade, they got you. If you're looking for some beard oil, they got you. They also got merch, so go check them out. They're all out of the IE, where I'm from. Men, get right. Go check out their page. Ladies, get your men right. Go check out the page. Emperor Supply Co. Enjoy the episode. And are you guys ready?
Yeah.
You're ready.
3, 2, 1, and we're live. Welcome to another episode of Daniel's Best Podcast. I'm your host, Rob Vega, a.k.a. Robberryy, a.k.a. Dad. Before we continue, can you guys please like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends? We'd all really appreciate it. Back to the show. We got two lovely guests here today. We got two lovely women here today. We got Natalie and Bryttani.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah. They're returners. You guys been here before. You guys are here on the first episode in my new place,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My new situation that I'm in now.
Situation.
Does that sound negative? Is that derogatory? No? Is that chill? Okay.
I just think of Jersey Shore. That was like instantly where I went.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, so we're here. It's the first episode. Been the last one you were saying off air. It was me, Mars, and Feener, and it was on Feener's review on his
event that he had
for his clothes, right?
Yes,
for his
yeah.
vintage clothing.
Yes.
Clothing. Shout out Feener. He's gonna be doing an episode on here pretty soon, but. Like, okay, so, I mean, it's been a while. There's been a lot of shit going on, right? I think in all of our lives.
I know.
And
Yeah,
there's
right?
been a huge glow up with everyone that's here today at this table, right? And so
Definitely, yeah.
I'm actually proud to say that. You know, we're all, you know, we're better than the last time we've been on here, right? So,
True.
hell
Life
yeah.
has changed so much.
Right?
For us. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's really crazy and exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly. So, for me, we'll start with me. I didn't mean to start. I mean, it's just because it set the tone, right? So I moved, a lot of family stuff going on, that, I guess you could say bringing the family closer together, you know, we're all working together, things like that. It's kind of weird. Like, the move happened at the same time a lot of other things happened, so that's why we're here. It was almost coincidental. It was kind of something that led me here type of thing. These days I'm really like being led by my intuition, you know what I mean? And so I'm here because I genuinely believe that I need to be here, and I'm completely okay with that and content and happy with that, you know what I mean?
Don't force anything.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're at. Excuse, you know, if the audience can excuse me if I'm like stuttering and stuff. It just feels weird that we're on.
Yeah.
It feels good though.
Getting
I'm a little
used to it
nervous.
again.
Yeah, a little bit. So I felt like before, like I could just freestyle, go. Now I'm like all like.
Right when I got like super comfortable to him, now I'm like, oh, hi.
Yeah. And
You shocked me with the first intro. I was like, oh, that's my turn. That's my cue.
I know, right? I know, I fucked up. Okay, you guys are not going to see the first intro, but I fucked that up. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying.
I fucked up too. I was like, oh, it's my turn.
We had to do. I should have prepped. I should have fucking prepped the
You
intros.
needed a moment.
Honestly, yeah. I think I was just too busy getting everything else ready, but it's fine. We're here, and yeah. So you know, there's a move, and then also with me, my health. I had some stuff with my health going on. I got my gallbladder removed. I posted that. I think some of the people who followed the podcast seen that on my Instagram, but didn't really know why. Didn't know what the situation was. I had a bunch of gallstones in my gallbladder. If people don't know what the gallbladder is, and look, I'm gonna break it down because I'm gonna have people on who are like holistic and health advocates, people that I know.
Just drink water and exercise and you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit deeper than that, honestly. I mean, that I realized only because
I'm just saying that's what they tell me when I
Right?
when I tell them about my health things. They're like, oh, just drink water and exercise.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
deeper than
Lord.
that.
That's terrible. Well, there you go. So you're exactly in the same boat as me, right? And so basically what happened is I realized after that I didn't know what was causing it. Doctors couldn't tell me. I mean, I feel like everyone that got their gallbladder removed, the doctors told them the same shit they told me, which was don't eat fried foods at first, and then you could eat whatever you want after that, which makes no sense because I was having stomach issues. I couldn't eat the same things I was eating before. Yeah. And so I actually went to this doctor to get like blood work done, and he's like a thyroid specialist, but he also does like chiropractic work. He does like x-rays, like all in one spot. So he's like a one-stop shop type of guy, and he has all these degrees for all that stuff. And so I went there, and then I also got an allergy test on top of that. And so it turns out I'm allergic to a bunch of stuff. I'm allergic to wheat. I'm allergic to corn. I'm allergic to, that's like literally, like that's every tortilla ever made, really. You know what I'm saying?
To beef?
Yeah, and then I'm allergic to beef. So like no more carne asada, no more burgers. And my favorite food probably was cheeseburgers. And that's probably done now. I can't have that because that's wheat with the bread. No pizza. Oh, fuck, man.
No sandwiches. That's been rough.
Yeah, that has been rough because in the vlogs we were making sandwiches, trying to like, you know,
or
save money or eating pizza. Yeah, you know. And it was funny because we were recently going back to the sandwiches when I lived in La Puente, and that was cool. But I can't even have chips with the freaking sandwich. Dude, I saw this tweet. It was like, it said, like, would you eat a sandwich without chips for $1 million or some stupid shit like that? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I can't have any of that, motherfucker. So fuck you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so that was my whole thing. So I changed my entire diet. I'm allergic to a few other things too, like bananas and chocolate. But I mean, the main ones were really just beef, corn, and wheat.
Bananas anyways.
Yeah, I know, me neither. You know what I mean? And so I changed my entire diet. I stopped eating that stuff. I was also malnourished because a lot of the foods that we consume today do not hold the vitamins that we need, even the healthy ones. So he put me onto some vitamins as well that I have to take daily, and I feel great. So what's crazy is I've been eating foods that I'm allergic to my entire life, basically, because that's our main food groups as Mexicans, like beef, carne asada, tortillas, tacos, all that stuff, right? Yeah. And so that's all
greasy food.
Yeah, and then when I would come home, we would have carne asada burritos, you know, with avocado and shit like that. So it's like I had to change all that. Vitamins are now in the picture, and I feel, and the only reason why I'm breaking it down like that is because for a long time, and my situation might not be as chronic as other people's, but like I've had this issue that I had been dealing with like very low energy my entire life. In my opinion, I'd like to say that it was like a chronic depression, right? And the
That's
thing
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and the thing for me was I never really like dipped into it because I realized it's like if I feel like shit and I like kind of get further in, it'll just get worse. You know what I mean? And honestly, that's probably what caused my, you know, rock bottom during COVID. Really, it was just like an unbearable like wall that I hit where I just couldn't go anymore, and plus all the stress from COVID. But anyway,
you had nowhere to go, so you had to actually think about it and deal with
right, exactly. And so what's crazy is the feeling that I would have this entire time of the chronic depression and the low energy and the sluggishness. I thought everyone went through that, and every guy in my family goes through that. You know, my dad was going through that, my cousin was going through that, and we all do the same line of work. And then even my previous friends, same construction, and they kind of go through the same shit, you know, like everything hurts in their 20s, they're not even 30 yet, like your knees hurt. You know, everything hurts, you know, and so I'm just like, oh, I'm just normal, you know, like
it's
this
just
is
like normalized to have bad health. Like,
exactly,
like a thing.
I guess, right?
Yeah.
And so it was crazy because, like, you know, we would just party and we would just chill and then like try to get through the week and then just go back to partying again. You know what I'm saying? And so that got old really quick.
All that takes a toll on your body.
Oh yeah. I mean, shit. You know what I read? I guess it's like a true fact. Like one shot of Jaeger is equivalent to like 5 Coke cans.
Down. everything.
And I was drinking like that. I was drinking that shit like water. In 2020, I was drinking that shit like water, which is insane. And then on top of me being malnourished, it just did not help. You know what I'm saying? So,
had like a flashback of the Jaeger.
I know, same. I was like, I could feel it.
I'm gonna throw like a little video of him. We're just chugging that shit right here.
No.
So I'm just happy to say that like it was like a switch. As soon as I stopped eating the things I was allergic to and I started taking my vitamins, I no longer had that emotion of like depression. Like it was weird. I just like I almost didn't notice that it wasn't there. But I felt lighter. I felt just more energy.
You look lighter. You look lighter. You do. I saw that picture and I was like, damn, Rob's gonna disappear.
Yeah, and we were talking about that the other day, and so a side effect to the foods that I was eating that were I was allergic to was bloating. That was one of the side effects, as well as a bunch of million other ones like low energy, sluggishness, even depression, right? Negative, weird thinking and stuff like that. So, but yeah. I'm at a place now where I'm over that. I'm healthier. I'm feeling great. And like, it's crazy because it's like my whole life I've been learning how to cope with that, dealing with that. And now it's like, I don't have to. So it's like weird to just rarely have to dip into that coping, but it's like a significant night and day difference of like my quality of life. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you almost have to check in with yourself and like, because you haven't coped, you haven't felt those feelings in a while. And you're like, is everything okay?
Right.
Like, is life good? And it is good. It just doesn't feel normal.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
when
almost
everything is going so good, and you're like, what's the catch?
Exactly. Yeah.
Something's gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. Like kind of that type of vibe. You know what I mean? So, and then to like understand that it's just backed by good eating, good sleeping, and working out, and I'm just like, fuck, there's no end to it. You know what I mean? It's just it's great. It's amazing, honestly.
You get like good ass skin too. I'm so jealous.
Oh, that's right. That was
jealous.
another thing. Everyone. Okay, so as soon as when did I decide to shave the beard? Why? I forget when. What was that? When was that?
It was.
Was I going through a crisis? Like when was that? Because
hey, girls cut their hair and dye their hair when they're going through a crisis.
I think you wanted to try out because didn't you first have a full shaved face? I think you wanted to.
I think
try
I was
it
just
out,
trying things, right?
And it looked good. You were like, I look different because you had already been dropping weight.
Yeah,
and you looked different, so it just like
so I wanted to see, right?
Yeah, and then you grew out the mustache and you liked it, and
just kept the mustache.
It gets longer and longer.
yeah, I kept the mustache. I know, and like I debate if I wanted to shave it off or not, but it's cool. You're right, and it was
porn stash.
The porn stash, hell yeah! And it's funny because like family. That's like the first thing that people notice. It's not even the weight. They're like, dude, your skin looks amazing. You know what I mean? Which is great. Thank you God for those genes and shit. But yeah, it's cool. I was like trying to understand how that was like how that happened. But Victor was the one who told me, from having your beard for so long, you probably like protected it from the sun. Okay. So after you shave it probably just.
Well, you also used like a ton of beard oil.
Yeah,
right?
I
think
gallons.
that helped, honestly.
Yeah,
because you shaved it off and then it was just like under there.
Yeah. Shout out Emperor Supply Co. She
so did
sponsors.
You have like a little like tan up here compared to where your
yeah,
beard
it was white for a while. But see, and honestly though, look, if I stay out of the sun for like a week, like my skin will just match. Like I'll get light pretty quick. So, and then I mean I'm outside all the time, so like I think for work, for construction, it kind of evened out pretty quick. Sense, yeah. So honestly, I don't know if I'll ever go back. I don't know if I'll ever go back full beard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
it feels good, right? For the summer too. It's like nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like less maintenance to me. Having it shorter, and I mean it doesn't make sense, but like I feel a little bit more mature because it's like less messy. You know what I mean?
So I cut my hair.
Okay.
Less maintenance.
There you go.
But I kind of do miss my long hair.
Okay, there you go. So when you can, you'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But it looks good though. I like it.
I know. I like your hair like that.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It fits you so good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so light and like it's hot right now, and at work they don't believe in the air conditioning. And I'm like breezing through, and everybody's like, "It's so hot in here. Cut your hair."
I feel great. Shave your beard. That's funny. That's cool though. That's cool. Yeah. So that's my update. You know, things have been cool. Things have been pretty chill. I just been trying to settle in, really. You know what I mean? And also kind of redefining what the YouTube stuff was for me. You know, if I wanted it to be my main source of income, or you know, if I was gonna pursue it that heavy, or if it was just gonna be a hobby. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I think it'll always be something I'll always do forever. And I was listening to this guy, this YouTuber. His name's John Hill. I think we were watching him when he said that, but he said like when you do what you do for a passion for work, it kind of ruins the fun of it. But what he said was, I rather do something that I love for work than to do something I don't love for work. You know what I mean?
Completely agree.
Which is
100%.
which is understandable. But the thing about when it comes to the way I want to portray my art on YouTube or just through my videos is like a particular way. And that doesn't involve like when you introduce money into the equation, I can't do it the way I want to. It has to be done a certain way. You know what I mean? It has to be done like a money machine kind of way. And like that's not the way I want to go about.
Quantity over quality.
That's
exactly.
Yeah, when you do it for money. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
they don't care about the art, or it's like the art is taken away from it.
Exactly. So I'm fortunate enough to have an amazing, like, you know, a good job. Amazing job. Relax. Calm down.
Chill out.
Relax.
All of a sudden.
I know. But the whole first season of the podcast was me just talking mad shit about my fucking job. Now it's, my job's
Dinner's
amazing.
on Rob after the show.
What happened?
I said dinner on Rob after the show.
I know. All of a sudden, since I'm so amazing. No, but I was saying that it's a good job. So, and honestly, I actually like my job. So it's nice to be able to do this when I want, when I want. I said that twice. It feels good to be able to just do this whenever I want. You know what I mean? Yeah. And how I want to do it. And so literally it took a long time to come to that understanding. You know what I mean? Because a part of me would get stuck on like, I need
to get there quick, make some money off of this.
Yeah, so I could quit my job and shit, you know, and like, you know, but
or it came down to like, I have to make this, I have to make this, I have to put it out there, and like you were like stressing yourself over like a time frame when like
exactly,
and then it took away from what you wanted to do.
Exactly,
yeah, and I saw that.
And like, what's interesting too is like I found more joy in taking like a couple days in editing a video rather than in as fast as I can finish a video, you know what I mean? Like when I was pumping those vlogs out, I would do them in one day and it'd be like a 5-6 hour day of just trying to do it. And then sometimes at the end, I'm just so drained that like I'm just fuck it, you know?
It's not fun for you anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And so like even like this last vlog that I did with Coachella, like it took me like 3 or 4 days to do. It was like a 25-minute video, but I was completely happy, like because I would do like 4 hours a day and then chill, like, you know, go to work, do my thing, go to the gym, and then the next day I would come back and then I would be fresh again to be doing it again. And without the time frame, I feel like I'd put out the best shit. And that's kind of what I care about the most, really. You know what I mean? Is like creating a vibe, you know, creating an emotion, you know what I mean? And that's just like creating an authentic vibe, an authentic emotion, you know what I mean? That's just really what I'm about. So you know, learning that.
I get it because I'm writing my book. I've been talking about it since I came on here the first time.
Yeah.
But I was like that. I was like, I got to get this out here. I got to hurry up. I have to meet this time frame. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't getting out the quality that I wanted.
Right.
So when that book gets put out there, it's not going to help the people that I want to help.
Right.
So now it's just like I've slowed down. And because when you write down, it's about... it has some trauma in there, you know?
Right.
So you have to deal with that, too. As I'm writing it, I need to take a breather. to be able to take a couple of days, sometimes a month, before I can come back and write on it.
Right.
But at first, when I was writing, I was like, I don't care. I had to go through this, and I would put myself into like a deep state of depression because I just went through all the trauma in 3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
That's a trip.
Yeah, no breaks. And so I had to like, okay, nobody's rushing me. You know, like take your time.
Right.
And when it's ready, you'll know. You know.
Right. So. That's interesting. That's a trip. We'll get back to that. No, for real, because I want to dip into that. That's cool. Yeah. So you know, just redefining that. It feels good to be where I'm at because like whenever I'm just the type of person to like reevaluate like every hour, and then when I reevaluate and I say, okay, my art and outlet is this now. You know, I have it's a defined thing, so that's not something I worry about, and then everything else in my life and stuff. So it's been cool. It's been fun, and I've been finding a healthy balance with it, and it's been really, really cool, and I've been really happy. So shout out to balance. You know what I mean?
Adulthood. Finally.
Yeah. What was that?
I said adulthood, finally.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, I'm barely in fucking 30 already, you know what I mean? So, and that's the thing, though. It kind of takes that long.
It does.
Yeah.
It does take that long, right?
I feel like even if you're, like, focused on it and, like, putting in the work, like...
I feel like that's when you don't find balance because you're trying to focus too much on it.
Yeah.
That, like,
it's crazy. Like, somebody, I saw this post and it said, like, the best time, like... when you have a delay or something having to do with like a delay, like that's a perfect time to like reevaluate and kind of resituate yourself and reposition yourself for like what you're working towards. And I didn't really understand that until just recently, where like I've taken a lot of time to just fucking talk to my, you know, immediate circle and be in non-stressful environments and just like vibe, you know, and just talk and chill. And I feel like we did that the last time we were hanging out here. So originally we were supposed to have a podcast with Bryttani and Natalie, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then Natalie was gone. You're going to tell us about that. But she was gone and she came back, and we were going to record, and we just started like, we just talked for hours.
For like we were just there forever,
just talking for hours, and we didn't even record. So, you know what I mean? And I think that's fine. I mean, I feel like it's organic. We're supposed to, you know, just connect and just catch up. So I feel like that's more important than in podcast stuff. You know what I mean? So, so that's so that was pretty much it. But yeah, now we're here. Shout out. And but yeah, Natalie, how things going over there with you? It's been a little bit.
I've also been through my health journey.
Okay.
For people that follow me on Instagram, I have leukemia. I've said that in the last podcast.
Yeah.
I had to go do some treatment out in Kansas.
Mm-hmm. Keep it going. You're good. I'm just turning it.
That was a good trip. I ended up getting sick on the way back, but not from any of my treatment, from like the elevation.
Okay.
And so I didn't even know I could get elevation sickness, and apparently, like, I almost passed out.
Yeah, I didn't even heard of that, honestly.
I
didn't know it was that, like, intense. I didn't know you could actually...
It was really intense. Like, 1 second I was normal, and the next second my sister's like, your lips are purple.
God.
Like, I was struggling to breathe, and...
Yeah.
I couldn't find my inhaler in my car, so...
I swear that'll be the times you can't find it. You needed them most.
Yeah.
I took 3 inhalers with me on the trip, just one in my backpack, one in the car, one just in case, and I couldn't find any of them when I was struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
And it didn't even help.
Because you have asthma too, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I always have an inhaler or allergy pills and stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. And then we get on the highway, and there's an accident. Because we're now in the Rocky Mountains, right? So there's an accident, and they had to wait like 45 minutes for them to move the RV off the highway. Yeah. And so I'm literally, my sister's like, you'll get better once we get lower in the elevation. And then we stay there for like 45 minutes, and I'm like struggling to breathe, and I'm starting to have like a panic attack. And my sister's like, I knew there was something wrong when you started asking for mom. And I was like,
oh, shit.
I asked for my mom.
She's like, blasphemy.
And she's like, yeah, you asked to talk to mom. And I was like, oh, I must have been dying. I was dying.
Your trauma showing.
Exactly. And as soon as we got to the bottom of the Rocky Mountains, my sister got really sick. And it was the opposite. And so I was his drivers. I started driving. And she got like a virus. Like she must have ate something wrong. We turned a corner. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice to ride the curves. And she's like, pull over. Brr, everywhere.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, you better not get my car. But the trip was good. Health-wise, I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
I also took the allergy test because I've been having stomach problems and just like feeling sick. I feel better for like 3 days and then I get sick again. And it's not like the cancer. As far as I know, it's not the cancer because it's doing good. Right.
So I feel like you kind of know your body at this point now, right?
Yeah. And even before I left, I think we had already talked about the allergy test.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And so I was like, it's time for me to do it. Let me see.
Let
me see what's up.
Right.
So I haven't gotten my results yet. We'll see.
Okay. When did you take it?
Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday. So she should be getting them by like tomorrow. Right?
Yeah. I feel like I was just telling you, like I went on a trip to Sacramento for work, and like one of the girls I was with, she's been having just health issues too, and I was talking to her about an allergy test because now I'm to the point where I feel like everybody should get it done because like I feel like it's just so common and nobody knows, but it creates so many health issues.
Yeah.
So that's like my first thing. I'm like, have you gotten an allergy test?
Yeah. No, same. And that's what I tell people too when they tell me the same side effects I had. Like, I can't lose weight. I feel like shit. Yeah. I'm sluggish. So if you're watching and you're going through that, go get an allergy test.
Allergy test.
Yeah. I also struggle a lot with like losing weight because I follow a low carb diet because I'm diabetic.
Okay.
And so I can't really eat carbs. So like normally people that have low carb diets, they lose weight.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I drink a lot of water. I go to the gym. I exercise. And like I maintain my weight, which is good.
Right.
But I can't lose weight.
Got it. Okay.
So I was like, maybe this will help me figure out why.
Get some answers.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, because I mean, that might change the whole. Like, might be game changing for you, right?
Yeah,
That'd be sick, right?
And the doctors can't tell me why, and I'm like, well, then help me out. Like, is there a magic pill? But obviously there isn't.
Yeah.
They're just like exercise. I was like, I do twice a day.
Right. It's so weird. Like doctors are so uneducated. I mean, we could say that they're stupid. I mean, I would agree with you, but it's like they're so uneducated on like diet, right?
Yeah,
I mean, what the fuck?
I just think that like
or keeping us sick helps them and keeps them rich.
Oh, yeah,
and it's just there's simple solutions to be like, oh, like it's just easier to just like prescribe and kind of send off or like give the basic like, oh yeah, just do these things and go. Like
also like there's different categories of doctors, so each doctor specializes in something different. So like your primary care doctor is
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, your primary care doctor,
it never ends.
He's just generic. And then there's somebody that went and studied for more like a specialty.
Right.
And so in order to figure out what
a nutritionist.
You have, and then you have the nutritionist. And I was like, and they don't communicate with each other.
Exactly. But that's
and they don't communicate.
But that's what I'm saying, because like we just said, there's so many health issues that cause the allergies, and it's just weird that like that's not even the first thing that, hey, maybe you should get an allergy test. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even fucking, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like that's not the first thing they go to, I guess.
The first thing that they do is their little prescription pad, and that's how they solve everything.
Oh, okay.
So even like right now with my health journey, they were like, if you don't want to do like the chemicals and everything, then we had to, because I was on disability for like almost a year.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll have to send you back to work. Because if you're not willing to take our drugs, you have to go back to work.
When you told us that I think that's so crazy.
Yeah, like, that's insane.
Just because you're going to choose a holistic way for your treatment, like, okay, no, you can go back to work because you're not. You're like, is it like
that is so
treatment?
fucking weird.
So I took a more natural approach, and because of that, they're like, oh, we'll go back to work. I do feel better, and like I do kind of like being at work because it distracts me from having to deal with all of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the stress from work also makes
it a little worse.
Makes it a little worse.
Yeah.
So do I think I'm like 100% ready to go back to work? No, really. But
got it.
And if I want to survive, I have to go back to work.
Right.
I won't be not that disability was paying me much, but
healthcare.
It was something.
Jeez, that's crazy, man. Also, I would like to add too. When it comes to the allergy test too, it like also counts like healthy food as well. And that's the thing that people like, that's a misconception that people have is like, well, it's healthy, it should be fine, right? So my homegirl recently went to go get it because she's always chronically depressed all the time, and I was like, maybe she'll get an allergy test. And all she eats is fish and rice and broccoli. That's gonna
be our new answer.
Yeah, she eats fish, rice, and broccoli all the time. It's her favorite food, and she's allergic to fish, rice, and broccoli. Oh, no. Literally.
Maybe she created her own allergy. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a
thing, right?
It is a thing.
I ate trail mix all the time, fruit salad, strawberries. Like when I had an allergic reaction, I was eating trail mix and strawberries at the same time.
Oh shit!
And I'm allergic to peanuts, cashews, almonds, strawberries, deathly allergic.
Right.
And that's mainly what I was eating. So it is kind of interesting. I don't know if you create your allergies, but
or you grow into them.
Yeah,
somehow.
I think you can grow into them.
Yeah.
But I've also learned
because you're like the queen of because don't you aren't you allergic to a lot?
Yeah, so many. I'm allergic to I have an EpiPen. Okay. I have a bunch of environmental allergies. So if you look at my allergy test, there's a bunch of trees and grass. Everything's 4+, so 4+, the most.
She needs a bubble to go outside.
Basically, literally. She's allergic to air.
Seriously.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
She needs that little, have you seen Sandy from SpongeBob? Yeah. Astronaut suit.
Oh, yeah. Walking around like Sandy Cheeks. That's funny.
When I was hiking all the time, I felt like I did.
Yeah.
I was just always having reactions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I agree. I feel like in the past years, I've learned that, well, it's kind of different for you. You kind of eat food based off your heritage line. And where your family comes from and where your heritage line comes from. And I
because your body will the genes in your body will react the best to those foods because that's where your family line comes from, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just good info for people to know because that's a trip. When I first heard it, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's tight.
It's interesting. I mean, it's different for you, but
yeah.
But I mean, for most it should apply.
Right. Well, because what's crazy is so I got my gallbladder removed and I don't think I went into that, but the reason why I think it got infected was because it's like a allergic reaction. The gallstone is an allergic reaction to the foods that I'm allergic to. And that's my theory because no fucking doctor, unless anyone's watching that can tell me, which I doubt, but no one can tell me or figure out why you get gallstones and then why your gallbladder gets removed. Your gallbladder is what helps releases bile to break down food when you're
digest food, yeah.
Exactly. So without it, you have to start taking a supplement before meals, and doctors don't tell you that until I went to my doctor, and he's the one who prescribed it. It's not, I got it off Amazon. You know what I mean?
Also, your doctor told you that for a while you had to stop eating greasy food, and then you could go back to normal.
Yeah, my OG doctor. Yeah, at the hospital.
But that's not right.
Exactly.
Because you're missing something in your body that's helping you break down the food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they said that.
I remember we had that conversation, and we were trying to make sense of it, and it's how does this make sense if you don't have the one thing that breaks that down?
Because
make this make sense.
Exactly, because what it does, it breaks the food down to the point where your body can absorb the nutrients. So if it's not broken down all the way to a certain extent, it can't absorb those nutrients. So it's how are you going to tell me
you're going to start having other problems because of that.
Exactly. And how are you going to tell me right out of surgery, oh, you can't eat greasy foods for a couple weeks, but after that you could eat whatever you want? That's what he said. And you're good. And you're good.
I have allergies right now.
Yeah, so it don't matter. They dropped the mask mandate. We don't give a fuck. We'll just snort COVID right now. So
hey, I took a COVID test.
I know you did.
I was negative.
Nice. It could be healthy foods too, so don't count that stuff out. So maybe you guys should go. Everybody should go. I don't know. Or not.
We'll put the link.
Fuck
I don't know anything. What do I know?
Yeah, seriously. I'm just some bald fool. Looks like a cholo. You know?
We're gonna have a health podcast now.
I know, seriously. No, I got some. I mean, that's a whole different thing. I got a friend who works on a farm talking about how like we only have like 60 years left of like surplus in food and shit for the entire world. So I guess like the way to fix it.
I'm only trying to live like 40 more years.
She's like, I don't give a fuck. She's like, I'm out after that. I guess, and that's the thing, because I was kind of thinking the same thing too. I'm like, well, I guess I'm out too. You know, I don't give a fuck. You know, y'all could deal with that shit. But I guess he was saying for our future.
I'm not having kids.
I know. I don't
have kids. All right, so fuck the future. We ball. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. So when you came back, I'd say the first week you posted a pic, you looked amazing. I was like, yo, you look great.
Glowing.
And I told you that when you got here, and you said other people noticed it too. So that's cool. I'm glad you're doing better. You look better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
now, I have the 2 weeks back at work glow now.
Okay. Kind of dimmed a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what I mean?
But I definitely, going out there is like, they give you IVs, right? Mm-hmm. So they clean out your blood. And then they also put vitamins in there. So nutrients that I didn't eat meat for like 3 years.
Right.
Like 2.5 years. So I was missing nutrients. But not that meat gives you all the nutrients that you need.
Right.
Yeah. But we just eat and we don't like put those extra supplements in our body.
Right.
And so that whole treatment was putting those supplements in there.
Right.
To be able to fight the cancer cells.
Got it.
Because they're trying to make your body stronger.
Yeah.
As well as cleaning out your blood to, because I have leukemia, it's a cancer in the blood.
Right, right. Yeah. And one thing that I commend you for too is that I see that you're doing a lot. Like even in the condition that you're in, you're writing a book. Would you like to talk about your other endeavors that you're dipping into, or is that private?
No. I'm like,
because I mean, you've told me this prior, but you reminded me the last time we hung out here. But you're also flipping homes.
Yeah, flipping homes with my sister. I didn't really help with this second home because of all my health problems.
Right, right, yeah.
I did research for her.
Yeah.
They're almost done with this house, and it's going to go up for sale at the end of this month.
Nice.
Wow, nice.
But you also have a vegan...
I'm not currently
slowed it down?
Yeah, I slowed it down because we're doing the flipping.
Right,
and she's the sister that would help me out with that.
Got it.
I also had a hand surgery, so, like, cooking is a lot of hand movement.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had a lot of health things at the beginning of this year. My hand's doing good.
Nice. I mean, you look like you're doing good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. I just think like that's cool, and I think that's cool about you, basically. You know what I mean, as a person, and you have things to lose, you have things to look forward to. You're working towards things, and I'm just attracted to people that are that way these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Working towards shit.
I also do have my
giving a fuck about life. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah. I started a nonprofit, so I'm in the last stages of it. All my paperwork is done. I'm looking for a facility.
That too. See, that was the big thing that I remembered. I was like, didn't you have something huge going on or something? Yeah.
Yes, my goal was to start in August of 2022. So we're almost there. So like, I'm kind of have some pressure right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But also I could just push it back to January.
Yeah. I mean, we'll pray on it. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll get it done.
Yeah, I agree.
I was just waiting on like the IRS takes forever.
Right.
So I was waiting on some
yes,
paper.
they do.
I was waiting on some paperwork from them. I finally got it at the beginning of April. But I also was dealing with my health. So I was like, it's kind of good that it took a little bit longer because I was able to deal with all that without having that added pressure of dealing with my nonprofit as well.
Right.
And so now I'm doing better, and finally I have all the paperwork to...
Nice.
So I'm looking for a facility, and then if anybody wants to donate, I can write you off now because I have my 501(c)(3).
There you go.
Hell yeah. Tap in if you guys want to donate.
Write it off.
You know what I mean? Yeah, seriously. That's sick, man. I'm glad.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you, dude. Hell yeah.
I have a meeting on Saturday with the bank to be able to get a loan to get a facility.
Nice.
So.
Oh shit.
And I feel like all that has helped.
That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy, man. You out here.
I know.
I better catch up. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck am I doing?
I feel like all that has helped with my health too, because it does give me something to work towards. And this is literally, I've been working on this business for the last I started working with kids 12 years ago.
Yeah.
12, 13 years ago. But the last 6 years, I've been focusing on starting my business. And, like, as much as I don't like the place where I'm at, I've met the connections to be able to do this there. I've gotten the experience. So, like, I'm at the place I need to be.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't really want it.
Yeah. It worked out. That's awesome.
That's the way God works things out sometimes.
Yeah, honestly,
absolutely. Shit, that's for facts. That's for facts.
You're like, no, and he's like, yes.
This is what you wanted,
right? Yeah,
what you asked for, not in the way that you want it, but this is how you're gonna get it.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I mean, it's almost like the lesson and the experience are literally more, I believe, more important than the actual destination, right? Because if you got there and you weren't ready, you'd be fucked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And now I feel ready.
Yeah, secure, right? Like you know what you're doing, and that's the thing. Like that was one of the things. Like a huge fear of mine. Like when I first got in the workforce, of just like in general or starting anything new, is like when you start, not knowing what you're doing while you're there. It's just like the most shittiest feeling. I just hate that. You know what I mean? So
I hate starting a new job.
Right.
Because you don't know what to do.
Exactly. So
you're
that's
like
cool,
new
man.
Something all over again.
Yeah.
That's
cool,
that's
man.
a good transition to Brittany, starting a new job.
Yeah, I know, and I know. I was gonna say, we that's exactly what I was gonna say. You should be the co-host. She's the co-host. She's the host now. Natalie's the host now.
That's right.
So yeah, Brittany, how are things going over there? Yeah.
I mean, lots of changes for me too. I don't even remember last time
because
we left off.
So the last, I think, on an update for you, we left off on what you did for work, right?
Yeah.
Which was Sephora.
Yes.
And
that was Sephora.
From then, you were on the podcast a few times, and you didn't give me any update or anything like that.
Well, because I was still kind of a little traumatized from my changes that came. Like,
oh, that's right.
I mean,
okay. We also didn't even like get into that bag when you were on. It was just straight to the topics, right?
Yeah,
so it's all good.
It's okay. I mean, I'm not at Sephora anymore. How
long were you there for?
I was there for 9 years.
That's a lot.
So
that's a long time, dude.
That was like the second job I had, and when I started there, I was 20. Like I was a baby, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no like idea of what industry I wanted to get in.
Yeah.
So it was kind of crazy. It was kind of what I needed at the time. And then like I got obsessed with makeup, skincare, beauty, everything. And as much as I always wanted to leave there, like I just always got good opportunity. I was always getting promoted, moved up, moved around, and so I just always stayed, and I loved it. Like,
that's how they keep you.
Yeah, but I never had any complaints about it. Like, I mean, I did, but I feel like it's just normal job.
You're gonna get that everywhere.
Exactly. Right, yeah. But for the most part, like I liked what I did. It became like a lot over time, and I mean, eventually I was let go from the company, and that was something I didn't expect to happen.
Right.
When it happened, like it was kind of out of nowhere, and I was like
devastated.
Yeah, well, I felt like it. Like I was.
Yeah,
I was.
That's 10 years.
I was like, okay, I'm about to be 30. Exactly. I was like, I think I have to. I'm like grieving this job that I had.
Yeah.
Like all my like closest friends were there, and then
like you built a life around that.
Exactly. But then also like I grew up there too. So like
that's crazy.
My networking was. I learned a lot about networking. I learned like I became really passionate about like skincare and makeup and. I was like, I had a few months after this all happened that I was like going crazy and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was questioning myself and what was going to come next. And just little by little, I just like told myself, like, I have to do something. Like, I have to take one step. I have to change something.
Right.
And so like step by step I did. Like I went to school. I started freelancing, picking up jobs like here and there, and
Instacart live.
Yeah, Instacart.
Doing what you had to do.
Yeah, exactly. And that was it. Like I just had to figure it out, and I always trusted that like I would figure it out. I feel like I have that trust in myself at this point that I didn't think that like whatever would come next that I would fail at it, but it was just a really scary time. I had good support around me, so that was really helpful. And so I started school. I went to school for aesthetics, and then that, like, I don't know, that was like something I just loved. And
for people who don't know what that is, what is the study of that?
It's the study of skin. So I do like facials, waxing. I always struggled with acne. So I wanted to like share my knowledge that I had with people. I feel like I learned a lot from Sephora.
Nice.
And I felt like I connect with people like that. I connect with them through like beauty stuff and skin stuff. And I like it. Like it's what I'm passionate about, and I love being able to like I said, share that with people. So once I graduated, I feel like
you went to school, graduated.
Yeah, I graduated in June.
Nice.
And in that time in between, like I was picking up freelancing jobs. My makeup jobs picked up a lot. I joined a couple freelance teams.
Nice.
And I went from
hustling.
Yeah, I went from this place of, okay, I'm about to graduate, what's going to come next? Like really wanting to push everything. And then out of nowhere, I kind of noticed like things really picked up. Like I have a lot of work, and I'm about to like dive into like being full time into another career. And so I kind of like took a couple months to just enjoy where I was at in life and really be grateful for the time I got to take off. Cause I mean, I worked in a corporate company for 9 years, and I felt like I got to breathe and I had freedom. And
I mean, there was a hard time with adjustment though, right? Because like your life was so regimented, and then when you got let go, and then you were able to create literally damn near your own schedule on a daily basis. It's weird because you have the freedom, but like because you're not used to it, it feels weird,
I was
right?
like, I felt, it sucks, but I felt like worthless, like useless sometimes, because I'm someone who like I overwork myself. Like I want to be overworked, and I want to feel my time. Exactly. I want to feel like tired, and that came from like, I mean, I started young, so in that company young, so doing that for like that long, and then having a full open schedule, I didn't know what to do with myself for a little while. Like that adjustment was so hard.
I felt that this year because I went back this month, right? But I've been off since last like the end of July.
You almost go like stir crazy. Like it's like little things that are just like you question. Like I was questioning myself in things that like I haven't since I was like 20. So it was weird.
I started working when I was like 12, so like being off, this was the first time I've been off my whole life basically. And at the beginning I was like, oh shit, like, and you're alone in your freaking thoughts, and everything is going. I was like, I had to do something, and my sister's just like, just relax. Take a break.
Exactly. And we all grew up in families where like you're like you need to be working. Like
we were trained to work at 9 to 5.
Exactly. Like
we were trained to do that.
I was almost like trained to overwork. Like you need to do this and like cook, clean. You know, there's so many expectations that come on top of like having your normal job. So having all this free time, like you just it feels wrong. Like I was like I shouldn't be doing this. And even making my own schedule, it still felt wrong. Like I felt like I was like I still need to be filling up my time, and I was doing fine. I was like great, but I just still felt like I wanted to fill that time. And,
it's funny, like when it's like it's almost like it doesn't seem like that, but to me, when the way I see it is like whenever like work gets slow for me, because that's the last thing I want really is for work to get slow, and it does, you know, once in a while. But when it does, I always look at it like, yo, God just wants me to rest. You know, he just wants me to chill. He just wants me to relax. And you know what? I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? But it's definitely easier said than done.
Yes.
Because you're stressing. Like, what the fuck's working to pick up, bro? Like,
I would literally have days where like, I'm like, no, I'm good. Things are good. And then later I'm like crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not okay. Yeah. It was like so many mixed emotions. Like,
yes.
That's crazy. That's so
but,
crazy.
I mean, it all works itself out. And like I said, I just kept putting in the work. I kept like pushing myself and
nice.
And networking. I mean, it's all about who you know these days. Like, and like having the relationships you create with people, because like you always like leave your like impression on people, and they always remember like how you made them feel, and like in small conversations you'll come up like when there's an opportunity. And I'm grateful for the people who've like brought my name up in those moments, because like that's why I'm like doing what I want to do now. Like I get to do makeup, and I work at a day spa doing facials. Like that's cool. It's, I don't know, I was like driving to work today, and I always take moments to like remind myself and to like be grateful. But like today, like I was like smiling on my way to work, just happy, because I'm like, dang, like, this is a new feeling. But I hope I don't like lose feeling like this, like feeling like grateful for it, and happy that I get to like work and like love what I do. Because I was thinking about that John Hill, and how he was like saying like if you work in if you do something that you love, it kind of takes away from it. And I was really thinking about that, because like I don't really want to lose that. Like I don't want to lose my passion for what I do, and I don't want to lose my love for it. Because when I worked at Sephora, like it kind of took away from, like I thought that I wouldn't want to be in beauty. Like it kind of took away from what I loved about it. And it was because it was so quick paced, and it had to be a certain way. And I honestly didn't think that I would stay in the beauty industry, honestly. After like that whole experience and coming out of it, like I really questioned if it was somewhere I wanted to stay. But I think I've just like gone into the right areas with the right people and the right jobs to like make me still love it. And I think that's what I have to remind myself, because I think I get scared of like already having that feeling in the past, and I don't want to be there again. But I guess, but I think, but like, I love it though. I love it. Hell yeah, that's cool. It still makes me happy. So that's good.
We're gonna go get facials.
I give him facials all the time.
I just got one 2 days ago. So
like he just falls asleep.
It's just fire. I'll be honest with you.
Honestly, I probably will fall asleep too.
We need it.
I'll give you one.
But honestly, like I think it's almost like the first time around, because I mean, your situation might be completely different from me, but like my first time around with the YouTube, when I was going, crazy and with the volume of how much I was posting, there was a lot of perks to it, right? But like at the core of the root, like it wasn't fun. It wasn't like fulfilling, right? Because it was just like a money machine, a clout machine, you know what I mean? A viewer machine. And so these days, after like kind of stepping back and kind of reevaluating and redefining it, like I almost put that forward now. I put, attention, and I put, money and all that shit aside from it. And now because I was able to kind of take a step back, I almost have this newfound love and appreciation for it. And I'm almost learning how to, like, I was going to say conserve, but that's not the right term. Preserve that emotion and that feeling of it. And I think when it comes to your doing it for a living, I think you almost, like you said, you noticed that in makeup, it kind of, that was what happened. Like it took the fun out of it. And I just think moving into this, you had like this, perspective change, and that hopefully now while you're in it, you can be appreciative of every moment and actually enjoy it.
And I think that's like the right word for it, like how you said, like I like was able to redefine what it means to me.
Got it.
And like what exactly I want from it. Like I can do like
I didn't know we were on this right now. Like, that's what's up.
I was like, this is not a topic we wanted to talk about.
I know, this is good, right?
But, like I was able to redefine it, and like now I can pick and choose exactly what I want to do, instead of like having to take it for what it is. Like,
got it.
It's you probably can't take the fun out of it now.
I feel like we don't like those breaks, but those breaks are needed for you to appreciate
big
working in there. I worked with kids for like 12 years, but in those 12 years I have taken breaks. And so I had worked at a place that was pretty toxic before, And when I got out of there, I was like, I don't think I'll ever work with kids again. Yeah. But it wasn't the kids that I had the problem with. It was the environment that I was in.
Got it.
And so I also had a moment where I had to like, I was doing Lyft and like Uber. And
no shame in that.
And figuring out what I wanted to do. It's like, do I want to go into a new career, or do I really want to work with kids still? But it's like,
I didn't know that you went through that. That's interesting.
I did, and and that's when I decided that I wanted to start my own business. I was like, if I continue, or my nonprofit, because I was like, if I continue working for other people, it's going to continue to be the same thing. Because I worked for several different schools, and it's always, the people do it for money. They do it for childcare is a lucrative business, you know, like
interesting.
The company that I work for currently, I'm not gonna say the name, but but they made like over $4 million during the pandemic.
Holy
you know what I'm saying? We were low on kids and they made $4 million, you know?
Oh my god.
That's nuts.
Everywhere that I worked at, because they've been like private establishments, they're more over quantity over quality. So they don't really care about the kids. They just care about the money.
Got it.
And so working in that kind of environment, I was like, I don't think I want to work there anymore.
Yeah,
but it wasn't the dealing with the kids. It was more like what they were wanting me to do.
Exactly.
Is that what inspired you to start your own nonprofit?
Yeah, so my nonprofit will be working with kids.
Nice.
With behavioral problems. But it's because that's the background that I have.
Yeah.
And so I want to work with kids that kind of are going through what I went through as a kid.
Got it.
And I don't want them to have to deal with, oh, like, we only want you here because of the money. It's like, I actually want to help them with the problems that they are having. And I want to be able to pay my staff a living wage.
Right.
My boss one day said, you knew coming into this field that you weren't going to make a lot of money. And so don't expect more than what you're already getting paid. And I was like, that's fucked up to say when you are making $4 million.
Yeah, that's my exact thought. I'm like,
right.
4 million.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you would say that to your employees is like, do you really want us to walk out right now?
Right, yeah.
Because I'll tell everybody how much you're making.
Right. That's nuts, man.
That is crazy.
All I gotta say though to that is I gotta catch up, because if you're having issues in your job, just create a company so that you don't work for nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Work for yourself.
Yeah.
You still have to deal with like politics and all that stuff too, because the government is a bitch.
Absolutely.
And so even though I want to make like all my own rules, the government regulates you, so it has like calmed me down from like all the things I want to do. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, you can't do this in the state of California. In California, I love California, but we have so many rules here.
Oh, yeah.
And everything requires a freaking permit.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was in Kansas and I was researching how to open up a business, what I'm doing here over there. Yeah. And, like, the amount of requirements I need in Kansas is, like, 0.
Wow.
Like, I don't need to have any of the stuff that I have.
Oh, shit.
I didn't need to pay for all the stuff that I paid for here.
Wow.
Had I just moved to Kansas. I mean, I don't want to deal with the tornadoes.
Yeah. I was going to say, once you do it out here, though, like, that's a flex. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you did it out here, so that's crazy.
And eventually, like, if things go well here, I would like to expand and open up a different school. Nice. Maybe in California, maybe somewhere else.
Yeah. Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say another thing that the break from, I think, working in general, what it helped me with, like, was I was able to, like, focus fully on my mental health. Like, I had always wanted to go to therapy, and I had always wanted to do like all these things, because I feel like I always put in a lot of work to like heal my traumas and figure out who I was, and like that's big for me.
And that's why we're overworkers, because we were trying to push the trauma down and put everything else on our plate.
She got it. She nailed it.
No, literally, and like
that's not me though, but I feel you.
That was me, and like I'm like, oh, I have it all figured out, but it's just like when you're working, and it's almost like being manic without like showing that you're being manic.
Okay.
But
you look normal, but everything is like
you look successful.
That's funny.
No. yeah, so it got stripped from that real quick. Like that stability.
I did go to see a therapist while I was off because I had to deal with the trauma.
Right.
And I was going crazy.
Damn, that's so interesting.
I made it 1 month after I was let go from Sephora, like 1 month in, and I was like, all right, I'm in therapy. And like I like had waited forever to take it, and it just 1 month of being out of work, I was like, all right, I need it now. And I think I did it for like 6 months, like consistently, and just learned a lot. Like I really was able to, like the exercises that I was getting and the things that I was learning, I was actually able to like apply them to life and like spend time focusing on them. Yeah. Whereas like when you're in a toxic environment, like working and just in general, like you can't focus on it. Like it's like you'll take a step forward and then like you're taking a step backwards at the same time. Right. So it was like I was finally able to focus on that and just heal like a lot of things that I've been needing to, that I didn't realize like that I thought I had already healed. So
I feel like the important thing to mention when you're talking about healing is that you're never completely done with healing.
No, definitely not. Yeah. I think like, what was that? Go ahead.
I've done therapy before. And so, like you said, like, I felt like I was done with healing, but you're never really done. Yeah. Like, you have times where you'll have to go to, I mean, you don't have to go to therapy, but, like, you'll go through it again. And to me, therapy is good. So, like, a couple years later, I'll have to start going to therapy again and, like, try to talk it through. Because your life changes, situations change, and it brings up the triggers from your trauma, you know?
Well, it's interesting because I feel like I finally, like, have been able... So I feel like... I think I've told you this, too. Like, for so long, like, being in survival mode, you act a certain way, you live life a certain way. And I feel like it's, like, I finally have broken out of that. Like, I'm just, like, living life, like, and enjoying it, and I'm happy, and I don't have to, like, survive so much. That I'm having completely different experiences that I've already had. Because, like, I feel like I can...
You're almost like a new different person.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not just, like, trying to get by, and, like, I can enjoy things more. I'm happy about things and, like, see a different perspective on things completely just because, like, I'm not, like, in a certain, like, mode, in a certain, like, way of living. So that's been a huge change.
Yeah. And definitely, like, I mean, we've had conversations off camera. And, knowing that other people have gone through similar things that you have, it certainly helps in that kind of situation too. Yeah, definitely. To make you feel like you're a new person, because it's like, okay, I wasn't the only one going through this fucked up shit.
Yeah. This entire time, right?
Yeah,
and like this person's living their life, and they went through that too. You know, so like,
or they're like succeeding in their life, and definitely
still pushing. You know what I mean?
Good job, bro.
Good job, Natalie.
Good job to both you guys.
Good job, Natalie.
Hell yeah. Good job, everyone. You know what I mean? Hell yeah.
So life's good for us.
Yeah, for real.
We're a natural high.
Right? Yeah, seriously. That's cool though, and I'm glad to hear. And damn, that was too good. How do I follow up with that? Who's cornier, men or women? Yeah, so I mean, that was cool, little catch up with everyone. I feel like we might do this more. I think we might just check in more. I feel like, we got shit to say. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I felt. I mean, obviously, I had a bunch of topics to go off of, but I didn't realize how much I actually enjoyed hearing how everyone's doing and just kind of checking in and talking about all our experiences and how they're somewhat similar, right? Yeah. And that's nice, honestly. That feels good. So that's cool. That's cool. Everyone's good. You guys want to start on a topic or what? Let's do it.
I feel like the check-ins are important because a lot of the time, like, you go to work and somebody's like, oh, how's your day? But they don't really want to know how your day is.
Exactly.
You know, like, they just want you to say good, because if you say anything more than good, it's like, whoa.
Right.
Look up.
Well, and here's
what I asked.
Right.
Here, So here, while we're in with group friends, you know,
yeah.
like,
give me the work version of how are you doing?
Yeah.
I really do want to know how you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're kind of right, kind of, because like I'm at work, like I ain't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I gotta go to work, like you know what I mean. But,
I'm like, you're not my friend. I don't want to talk. You're gonna be telling somebody else later. So
yeah,
no,
about
I
the
want
shit.
to talk to you.
Right. Exactly. I know. So we're gonna tell everybody who's watching. Nah.
Or also, I feel like sometimes you only like the only check in if you're not like together with someone you get with someone is through social media, like you know, and that's so distant sometimes, or like it's only like you see it a certain way, so it's like a real check in is nice, like to see where everyone's really at. And
like what's interesting too is like it just reminded me when we were talking about the check in is I think that was like the special thing about the podcast for the men, for the guys, when it's like all guys on, because like when we hang out with our friends, it's usually just to kind of like unwind. And I think it's different now because the people I'm surrounding myself around more these days, we actually do check in. Because before, the way we would deal with our trauma was to just hang out with our friends and not talk about our trauma so that we could kind of fucking just relax and just chill. And these days, I don't feel uncomfortable talking about whatever the fuck we're going through, but I just felt that the podcast was like a place where it was almost appropriate. Like, this is what we want to do.
This is what we came on here.
Yeah, and we're going to listen. Yeah. Talk about our shit. You know what I mean? So it's cool. You know, I'm glad that I'm like, it just reminded me of like, that's a cool outlet that we have that we can always go to now. You know what I mean? So, man, I miss podcasting. I miss podding. You know what I mean?
I'm not nervous anymore.
Huh?
I said I'm not nervous anymore.
We're
all warmed up.
Yeah, exactly. I know originally it was going to be me, Abe, Natalie, and Bryttani. And tomorrow's Friday the 13th. Abe's a tattoo artist. So he was on his way and he's like, bro, I just remembered I got to get my shit ready for tomorrow. So he's not going to make it. So I had some topics that were inspired by him, and so we were gonna jump into them. I guess we could. Honestly, I feel like we could if you guys want to, but we can do one. I'm down to do one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Natalie was talking about her catty female coworkers, or we could get into, because I mean, I was just gonna get into catty females, and then maybe toxic femininity, or we could get into who's cornier, men or women.
Let's.
Or we can get into Mama's boys.
These are all good topics.
Yeah. I want to do who's cornier, but I wanted Abe to be here because he's the one who gave me that idea to post on my Instagram. I'll post it right here, and the percentage and the majority say that men are cornier than women, right? And I was surprised to find out that he said that men are cornier than women. Let's
wait for him for that topic.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, bro, you better give me a great explanation. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll just wait.
Yeah, well, I mean, the picture of who you posted, I was like, dang, this is, when you look at them, that's hard because it was Kim and Pete Davidson.
Yeah. But see, and I guess I didn't really do us any favors then. But see, Kim's super corny.
I do see him as cornier than
Kim, right?
But the thing about it though is like, that's the only way that relationship works. She has to be as corny as him. But I think people just assume that she's not because way she looks and she has style. And
that would mean that
makes sense.
Megan Fox is as corny as MGK.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Like she is, yeah, now she is. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. Look, my whole thing. Okay, let's get it.
Kim, but I feel like
look, Megan Fox. I'm a little bit surprised at her because, like,
he loved her. He thought she could do no wrong. She was not corny.
Basically, because look, she was like the only.
He's heartbroken now.
She was like the only like edgy celebrity who was like actually edgy. You know what I mean? Like she was actually cool. She was not corny and shit like that. And then when she started dating, MGK, I'm like, this don't make no sense. Like, what the fuck's going on here? And then I was like, it'll probably end soon. And it didn't end soon. So I'm just like,
now they drink each other's blood.
Yeah, now I don't even fuck with her no more. I'm like, bro, no, bro. Like, you're corny.
I've always thought she was hot, but like, I always thought she was slightly corny too.
Really?
So, yeah.
How?
Yeah. There was just something about her, like, that it wasn't, like, I didn't ever think, like, she was truly edgy. Like,
okay,
she like played it off, but I never thought that was like truly her thing. So, and I think that's why like she played that she was. And then I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what it was about her. Like, I just saw her as corny.
Okay, so who plays the edgy role the best then? Who mastered it? That's what I want to know. Exactly.
It wasn't her.
well, clearly, but I feel like she might have been the best one to do it in my opinion, but I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, Angelina Jolie.
I was gonna say that.
See, but did she though? But was she pushing that envelope?
Oh my god, Gone in 60
she was grungy as fuck. Yeah. Oh, you're right.
I always bring that one up because she was so bad in that. Like, I love her in that. I
guess you're right because her rep is with men is on point. You know what I mean? She dated all the right dudes, really. You know what I mean?
I feel like Billy Bob Thornton was just the character that they wanted us to see her in.
Okay, yeah.
They definitely made her, like, she gave in to the money. Like, I think that she sold
and she has interviews where she's like, they wanted her to play those characters just because she's hot. You know?
Well, Jennifer's Body, like, I mean, that's like the best. Like,
that's like one of the,
that's amazing.
That's a sick movie.
Like, for that,
honestly.
Okay, and then of course Transformers, but
like
I'm like, that's all she has.
but I don't know though. I don't know because like I don't think she would like. I think she likes to play the edgy role because she likes that. She likes that whole shit, right? I mean, I guess everybody would if they could.
She said she didn't.
She reminds me
only
like,
ended up there because
what?
She'd be like Amber Heard, huh?
Oh my god, bro!
You know what? We should talk about that next time.
Oh shit! No, hell no. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Mama's Boys. Let's talk about Mama's Boys because I have an issue with Mama's Boys right now. Mother's Day was Sunday. This Sunday, today's Thursday.
And Tuesday, right? Tuesday was Mexican Mother's Day.
Yes. And I saw live footage of my grandparents dancing in Mexico all day. I was like, God damn, you should. That's what you raised 3 generations, Grandma. Hell yeah. Shout out to you. So okay. I saw a lot of like, how could you say it? Unhealthy relationships with men and their mom.
Yeah.
Because, there's a tweet on Twitter. Everybody was, when the Kanye West documentary dropped on Netflix, it's like 3 episodes of like his entire life basically. And he had like this camera crew, like his good friends were like kind of like documenting his entire life, even after he became a rich fucking asshole and like just started going crazy and kind of lost touch with them. They still kind of documented him throughout. And it's a really good documentary. And I watched the first episode because there's 3. And then I saw a tweet. And in the first episode, it was just kind of showing the closeness, like, you know, Kanye's just struggled to get to the top and get to where he's at now. And then this close relationship with his mom that I didn't think was unhealthy at all. And then I started seeing people talk about, and by then all the episodes were released, but people were on Twitter talking about, what she said was, I think Kanye's mom knew how unstable he was and knew that he couldn't live without her, and that's why she was so involved in his life, right? And so Kevin Samuels has a lot to say about that. There is an interview where Kanye said that his mom actually moved him away from his dad and kept him away from his dad, and for whatever reason Kanye actually liked his dad and wanted to be with his dad. And I mean him and his dad have a good relationship now. So what the tweet said, what the girl said was, I think Kanye's mom knew that he wouldn't be able to like kind of function or live out without her. That's why she was so involved. And I was going based off of what I saw in the first episode. And what I said to her was, you've never seen guidance and it shows. That's what I said, right? I was just being sarcastic and shit. But then I saw the last 2 episodes and I go, oh shit, my whole opinion changed on it because it was extremely unhealthy in my opinion. I've done my research on, like separating yourself from your parents and what that looks like and what that should be and what it, what I mean, what it entails and what it feels like and things like that. So, because I kind of had to know, I kind of had to figure that out on my own. Because like, I think, my parents are second generation, and it's like, when do you say when? Right? When do you kind of stop helping, or when do you stop like trying to give advice, or when, you get what I mean? So I was forced to figure that out through research, basically. And, even probably through therapy as well. Yeah. And so, basically it was just like an unhealthy relationship. And, so when she died, what I feel that she created in her son is a very codependent child. So when she died, that was his whole life. Whereas he should have been out, being an adult, learning how to separate himself from her and things of that nature. But I understand that, single mom vibes or whatever the case, I get it. Like, you guys are in it together type of thing. And, so it's just, look, I wasn't raised with a single mother. I only know women who have. So I might be talking out of line here, right? I don't know. But on Mother's Day, I saw a bunch of like overly mom boyed out. Honestly, I don't know. Like, what do you say? Like, how do you say it? You know what I mean? Like, it was too far, only because I feel like
boys infatuated with their mom.
Yeah, and both ways.
Because
I feel like it's the mom's like infatuated with the boy too. Like,
honestly, I feel like that does fall down on the parent, because
right, I agree.
You make the child codependent on you.
Yeah,
I agree,
definitely.
And they can't survive without you. So Kanye West, with the tweet, it was like she thought that he couldn't survive without her, and that's why she was
so involved. Right, exactly.
But had she stepped back and actually just guided him instead of hovering over him and like coddling him, he would have learned to be able to cope with life without her.
Exactly.
And I feel like as a parent, you should raise your child that way, because you tomorrow's not guaranteed today. Mm-hmm. So like, you think you might die at 60, but you honestly might die at like 35.
Right.
And you got to raise your child to be able to live without you.
Yeah. I actually feel like it's more like common than not that a lot of guys are codependent on their moms. Like, I feel like...
I mean, you're a girl. You date guys.
Yeah.
Have you seen that a lot?
Yeah, I see it often. And like, and that's why, like, I could think back to like a lot of the men that I've have dated, and a lot of them are extremely codependent on their mom, and sometimes it was reciprocated where the mom did too much for them, but also it was like them relying too much on their mom because that's what they knew their whole life. Like,
right.
There's just a comfort in their mom. Like, moms like are nurturing by nature. They want to like protect and like make sure you're okay, and I think so. Like, there's definitely a time when you have to draw that boundary, but I think it's just common that it doesn't happen.
I dated a mama's boy as well.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah. And at first, I was like, "Oh, he loves his mom."
Oh my!
And not having a good relationship with my mom, I was like, "Oh, that's sweet," like, "Oh, that's nice."
Oh, I see. Okay, and that makes sense on how that can. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, and eventually, I started seeing how toxic it was, and like, it got to the point where she was trying to like come between us.
Ooh.
And he's like, "You can't give me what she's giving me."
That's weird.
Yeah, you like, the mom would talk crap about me, and what I did like appreciate about him was that he would stand up for me.
Got right. No, I thought I heard like the plane or something. Like, damn, never heard it that close. You said, what did you say on the last? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
That I appreciated that she would talk like smack, and he would step in for me, like.
I see.
But it was in an unhealthy way. Like, she was trying to separate us.
Got it.
And he's like, "I love you, but you're not gonna be my wife, like to his mom, because she was so unhealthy in that way.
Right.
But at the same time, he did depend on her. If he needed a doctor's appointment, and be like, "Oh, mom, can you make a doctor's appointment?" It's like you're almost 30.
Right.
At that time, we were like almost 30, and it's like you should call and make that doctor's appointment for yourself.
Right.
But sometimes it's hard. Like I would have to, and I'm sure you can relate with this. Like I'm like as much as like I had like. I feel like I can be codependent because I grew up with so many siblings. Like, I was never, like, codependent on my parents.
Right.
So, like, I feel like I had to do a lot for myself from a young age. So, like, maybe I feel like sometimes I can, like, look at situations like, oh, maybe you should be doing more for yourself. But it's hard for me to judge because, like, I've always had to do like more for myself than maybe I should have. So I'm like maybe biased about it. Maybe I'm too hard.
I get what you're saying. Like you were always pushed really hard, so you kind of assume that like, oh, maybe I'm expecting too much of this guy. Yeah,
and it is almost like an instant turn off. You're like, why can't you take care of these things for yourself? Like why? Like
right.
But
that's definitely I did feel like that when I started seeing the red flags, I was like, but maybe I'm this hard on him because I've always had to be independent. I've always had to do stuff for myself. Yeah. So I kind of started making excuses for him as to why he wasn't doing it. But in the end, it was like, no, those were all red flags. I was driving right through them.
Yeah, because like one of the things that I started seeing out of nowhere, which I guess I can't knock, is a lot of people started being very open about their relationship with God when they really weren't prior to the documentary. And the way I look at it is it's not all bad. Hopefully it lasts then. You know what I mean? Hopefully the belief in God lasts. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a very inspiring, documentary on how, he lived his life and his relationship with God throughout his entire life. But with that, the mama's boy thing, I feel kind of like set in more for a lot of men. Like I saw them. Look, I don't want you to not love your moms. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying, but it's like I guess there's a fine line, because to me it's not very fine. Like as soon as I feel like there's overstepping, I instantly feel kind of uncomfortable. So for me, there's just like this natural thing to be like, hey, you're doing too much. I need you to relax. You know what I'm saying? And as an adult, I think that there's some responsibility of the son to kind of learn what those boundaries are, right? And then on the flip side to that, I have a question for you guys. To avoid these situations, like, do you guys back kicking your kids out at 18? Because here's my thing. You're doing yourself a favor the sooner you move out of your parents' house.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
that's on a personal level, but on a parent level, would you guys kick your kids out?
I don't think you should. I don't like. It sucks to kick your kid out. Like it genuinely does. I don't think you should ever put your kid on their ass. Like you brought them into this world,
right?
But it's like you should like prepare them for that.
Yeah.
Like by the time you're 20, you're out. Like
what was that?
At 2, you start telling them at 18, you're out.
Yeah, or even that. Like help set them up with something. Don't just leave them with like no car, no job, no.
Well, that's not what I wasn't saying like that.
I know, but I'm just saying like it comes with like. Give them something before you're like putting them out. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, let me reword it.
Because when I think of kicking out, I think of just like bye, like you're out of here. You're 18. I don't care.
Right,
you're out.
right.
So,
okay,
well, that's how I see it.
Okay, well, here's a lesson that I learned very recently: is if my grammar or my delivery is off, the entire message gets lost. So let me reword it. So are we up for prepping our kids to move out at 18 as parents?
Yeah.
Are we on that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean,
I moved out at 17.
I moved out at 19.
I was still in high school when I was out.
Got it.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't like my parents, like you gotta go. It was my decision to leave a toxic environment.
Got it.
Like,
damn, that's an early age to know the toxic environment and dip.
Yeah.
That's
It was the childhood trauma where I had to grow up. I feel like I was 24 at that age when I was moving out, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like...
The pain made you grow up.
Yeah.
The pain
and so
it made you leave.
Yeah. At 17, I was like, it's going to be hard, but I'll figure it out.
Got it. Yeah.
And I figured it out.
Yeah, for sure.
So you definitely have to, and working with kids, you definitely have to allow them to be able to figure it out once in a while.
Yeah,
and I feel like if ever since they're little, parents try to, like, do things for their kids. And I tell this to my siblings all the time when I see them, like, oh, they can't open it, let me do it for them. It's like, no, let them struggle a little bit.
Right.
And then definitely if they can't do it in like 5 minutes, help them out a little bit. But like, don't open it all the way. Open it a little bit, let them figure out how to open it all the way. You know? Like,
right.
Because in life, you're not going to be able to go over there and try to and solve that problem for them. Or you shouldn't go solve that problem for them. And they're going to have to figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
So, like, I see it all the time at work where, like, parents, moms with their sons be like, oh, no, I have to do it for them. And even talking for them. A lot of nowadays, we have a lot of kids that have, like, speech problems, and that's, like, an environment thing. And it's also, like, parents talking for their kids.
Right.
So I ask the kid a question and the parent responds. And then I ask them another question and the parent responds again. And especially in younger siblings, because you have the parent and the older siblings talking for them.
Right.
And so then now they don't really have a little voice because you're doing everything for them.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, I need you to be quiet. I need to hear them.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know. So definitely.
Yeah.
You're gonna struggle. I do feel like your kids are gonna struggle if you kick them out at 18, but prepare them for those struggles.
Got it.
And at the end of the day, like, I'll still be here if you need the advice. You don't have to take it, but, like, I'll still be here if you have a question.
Right.
And I'm not going to do it for you, but I'll give you some guidance.
I'll give you what I would do, or, like, what I did.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's fair. I think that's healthy, because, like, I don't think, like, if you don't do it then, like, there's never going to be a point that your kid's going to be ready to just go out on their own. Like, it's hard no matter what. Like,
and you're never truly ready for anything.
Because, exactly.
Because even to, like, have kids or to start a new career, you're never really truly ready for it. You kind of have to throw yourself out there.
Right.
Stop kind of living in fear and just... Even with the podcast, even with doing your makeup, you were scared about it.
Yeah.
Going into that career, but you threw yourself out there and now look where you're at.
Right.
Same thing. Like the podcast, how many years did it take for you to actually take the steps to do it, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So, and honestly, now, like, it gets you to a point because, like, I feel like I have, like, confidence in myself
you feel
now.
Empowered.
Yeah, that, like, if I feel like there's nothing that could really happen in my life, that I would have, like, no clue what to do. Like, something could happen, like, I have to move somewhere, or I have to change something, like, it's going to happen a lot easier because I have the experience and I've had to learn to trust myself.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like that goes far too, and like that means a lot.
Definitely going through all the struggles that I went through moving out and like being strong enough to be able to move out at 17. Now when I go through struggles, I'm like, if I did that at 17, I could do this now. So it kind of like empowers you to be like, okay, I got this.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's almost like you learn how to manage stress too. The more shit you go through. Like, for example, I'm not worried. Honestly, my faith is pretty strong. I'm just doing my part, right? As long as I do my part, my faith is strong in, having faith that things are going to work out, right? Today, I started to go apply at different jobs, different companies. And it was weird because the last time I did this, I was doing this, I was very, like, nervous to go. I was very, like, fuck, I don't know shit. Because, like, as an inspector in different companies, they just have different ways of doing things. Paperwork and invoices, all that stuff, trying to get to know the dispatch and where the jobs are and things like that. So just all that stuff is overwhelming, knowing that...
So I said a new job is hard because you're...
Yeah.
Just because it's the same, like, category of work, it's not the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do things differently.
Right. And so, but it was weird because of just, I don't know, this newfound perspective, experience with life, I was almost like, I was easily able to talk myself into a non-stressful like day. I was able to just go there, say what I had to say, turn in my resume, do a few interviews, and just get the fuck out and leave. Wow, nice. And like it was like literally kind of new territory for me where I wasn't stressing in a situation like today, you know, because all day that's what I did. I just went to different companies and stuff, and it was very like just not resistant at all. It was really easy to do. So I was like, it just kind of goes back to what you're saying. It's just like putting yourself, you know, doing the shit and doing the experience and learning how to deal with it. And it's weird because it's probably the frontal lobe, honestly, that just, you know what I mean? I don't know, just something about 27, everything just clicks. I don't know.
Well, men do mature later, so you're
yeah,
you're finally starting to mature right there.
Probably, you know, I'm 27 right now, so I'm like peak human right now or something. So anyway, I just wanted to I just wanted to
handle it. I know she can't handle it.
I just wanted to bring light to it because I think men need to draw these lines. I think they need to draw these boundaries. They need to figure out where they're at and draw the boundary. If you don't know where it's at, it's because you probably still live at home and you need to move the fuck out. I'm sorry.
It's the sons, but it's also the moms.
Yeah.
That need to.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm speaking to the young men that are my age, right? Like, hey, bro, like you're an adult now. Try to get it together. But you're right. It does start with the moms
because they're the adult in the picture in the beginning. So you have to teach your kids where to have that boundary.
Right, exactly.
And just teach them to leave the nest eventually.
Right. Exactly. I agree 100%. Yeah. Shit, we got a full episode. A first full episode where we're at the new spot. I know. Hell yeah. I know, like, we'd be in the middle of talking, and I'm like, man, this is going so great. Been like, I mean, and because I'm also not even really, like, comparing it to anything else. I'm really, like, paying attention to how the conversation feels and, like, how we're interacting, and, like, it just feels extremely organic. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's honestly, like, the thing that I'm just chasing. So thank you guys for a very awesome episode. I look forward to having you guys on again. And until then, you guys take care of yourselves. Again, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you guys. Before we sign off, can you guys please like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Later. Sick. Nice, guys.
Shit, feels weird. So sick.
That was good. All right, let's party. Just kidding. We're going to sleep. We got work.
Bring out the Jaeger.